Alistair, my guy. What's going on?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Doing good. It was great to meet you guys on Saturday. And Ian, I know we'll meet one day, but
Very soon.
Definitely. So yeah, I just wanted to say, like I appreciate what you guys been doing. Like I said, I told you guys on Saturday, I appreciate the platform, especially giving me a platform to talk about crypto with the Crypto Club. And I appreciate talking to everybody that was there on Saturday. So one thing I do want to ask you guys is, like there's been a lot of talk right now about crypto, and the one thing that I've been getting questions about is Dogecoin, and some people listen to me, some people don't, but I just want to pose this question to you, right?
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah. So how do you guys rank community when it comes to a cryptocurrency, the importance of community?
Well,
I've had a change of heart on this recently because I feel like community is actually very important. It's one of the things that brought Bitcoin to where it is and Ethereum.
10th.
I want to hear your perspective on the community and how that influences not just Dogecoin, but investment in general.
I wanna let everybody answer, but I also want to flip the question on you because Alistair is the head of. We have affinity groups inside of EY University, and he's the head of the crypto group, and he's extremely smart and extremely brilliant when it comes to cryptocurrency. And the crypto calls have become legendary. Over 500 people on each call. So, what is your opinion on it?
My opinion, like I said, I've changed my opinion on it recently, just because, especially with, we've seen what Wall Street bets was able to do with the markets. We've just seen how a lot of the retail investors coming in and how they've been able to move the market. So I think now and going forward, we're going to see a lot more influenced by just the communities in general. Like, for example, when we look at Dogecoin, we saw that, well, a lot of people don't know this, that they were able to get Dogecoin put on a NASCAR car back a couple of years ago. They were able to send the Jamaican bobsled team to the Olympics a couple of years ago as well. So looking back on that, my opinion of Dogecoin has changed in terms of the importance. Personally, I still don't invest in it, but I'm not as hard on it as I once was. But I will say that community can also be very fickle, because just like with memes, sometimes, one time it can be cool now, but in the future, that cool factor may go away. Yeah. But one thing I would say is that with Dogecoin, it's been able to maintain it. And if you look back in 2014, I actually checked this out today. Dogecoin was actually one of the top coins back in 2014. It was in the top 10, and it's made its way back into the top 10. And there were a lot of coins back then that had a lot of promise, like Namecoin, Omni. There were just so many different coins back in 2000, back in around that time when they had that bull run, that are not here right now. And Dogecoin has lasted the test of time. So that's just something that I got questions about, and it forced me to rethink. So, and then one lesson I've learned is that you can't be so static. You have to be able to take in information and sort of
adjust
and adjust. Exactly. So that's one thing that I've learned. And that's one thing that, I share with everybody in the crypto club as well, because I'm not perfect. I'm learning just like everyone else is, but I'm sharing it with everybody else because I've made mistakes, and I tell everybody about my mistakes. And I do that so that everyone can also be informed investors.
That's great.
No, it's extremely important. And you talk about the NASCAR. You was there at Times Square when we had a billboard, and there was a crypto. There was a Dogecoin. There was a Dogecoin billboard as well. So yeah, the Dogecoin situation is not new, and that was crazy because like in 2017, I remember the story of Dogecoin, and they were saying it was a joke. That's the first time I heard about Dogecoin in 2017. They're like, it was doing well then. Yeah. That's what people don't fail to realize. It's not like it just started going crazy overnight. It went from like 7 zeros to like 4 zeros to 3 zeros to a penny. And it was doing well in 2017. It had a good run up, and everybody was saying the same thing that they're saying now. Yeah. It started as a joke. How long will this last? It's up 500%. It's up 1,000%. So, I mean, if you look at it from that standpoint, it's kind of proven.
Yeah. Like you said, they have a community behind it. And I'm glad you brought up all the history of it too. That's dope. I got a question for you though, Alistair, before you go. 2017, you put up the post about Ethereum. Did you whether in your belief in it, or did you hold it since 2017?
Yeah, and that's the story I told. So I didn't hold. I sold. I sold to pay off my student loans and to take my wife on a vacation. And I always say I regret that decision. I should have held, because things would have been totally different. But now I know. So I'm holding right now for the long term.
You paid off your debt free and clear?
Yeah, I'm free and clear.
It was the best investment you can make.
You can't be mad at that.
You can't. I mean, we always have FOMO, but how much better did you feel when you got that debt monkey off your back?
I felt great. I mean, it allowed me to buy a house. So that was one of the things that it freed me up to be able to, make another move. But of course, hindsight is 2020.
Always. Always. Amazing question, man. I can't wait to meet you. Some of the questions I will ask before I give a direct answer. What was the reason that it fell in 2017? Number two, what is the catalyst for it going up now? If we're going to be honest, the only reason that it's going up because Elon mentioned it. You also have to be wary of community is important. So, but there's three communities. You have the investor community, the hedge funds. You have the retail community, which they make us feel like we have more power than what we do. And then we have what I call the agents. So it's a lot of people still in hedge funds sitting about like, wait till you guys see, maybe to come out in a month or two, or maybe another quarter, about all the hedge funds that privately were pumping it up.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be the same thing. So it may take a little bit more time for it to actually fall. So like if it's outside of a one standard deviation and it normally takes 60 days, come down and take 120. But and it's the thing always too, like with community, like you said, they can be fickle. But when I've been asking everybody about Doge, my thing was like, okay, did you put a significant amount of money into it? Now I've met a couple people, 3 that put a significant amount into it a year or 2 ago. Most people only have a couple hundred in it. And that's not a bad thing. But if you only put a couple hundred into an investment, it means that you're not truly convinced about it. So I want you guys to run it up and get the run, but the community, we are still being used. This is no different than AMC. Like if Doge gets to what, 20 or 30 bucks, the market cap of that coin would be 1.4 trillion. You're telling me Doge is worth as much as Apple?
No.
But the thing with that is that the problem with this cryptocurrency space is that there's so many coins in these. I remember when Ripple went up to $3.30. I was in Ripple at that time. I'm still in Ripple, XRP. And it made the owners of Ripple, because one thing that Mike said, whether you like what he said or not, XRP is owned heavily by the owners of Ripple. So they were like the number 8 and number 9 richest people in the world. And they were saying that in 2017. History always repeats itself. They was like, this doesn't make any sense. How are they the richest people in the world? And that's because there's like 1 billion coins. So this is one of the reasons why, in theory, it's like these kind of coins, Ripple can never get to like $10 or $100. It would have the largest cap in the history of the
history
world.
of mankind.
But anything is possible. I mean, hey, it could have the largest cap in the history of mankind.
In short term, it could happen. Community matters a lot in short term. Long term investment. Here's the test. I want you guys to go take 10 grand and go put it into one of those coins that is classified as poop coins. I'm gonna clean up the language. If you won't do it, then you truly don't believe in it. Community matters in the short term because we get used for that liquidity to then so people can exit those. I'm gonna ask you guys the same thing. When you guys were watching Market Mondays last year, why was nobody on the institutional side or Wall Street bets putting you into Doge? We are used for liquidity. In every deal and every transaction, there's a winner and there's a sucker.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of what happened this week as well with the Ethereum Classic, because Ethereum Classic had a run up this week as well. And that goes to, for one, it's a bull market. And the thing about the crypto bull market is that everything's going to run. Like these random coins, they're all going to run. But that also goes to show that a lot of people may not research, because if you really looked into Ethereum Classic, you would see that it's one of the least secure coins out there. One of the worst things that could happen to a cryptocurrency happened to it 3 times last year. So why would you put your money into something that's that, that much of a risk?
Mhm.
And that goes to either you're trying to trade. I mean, if you're trying to trade, then, make sure you have your entry and exits. But if you think it's a long-term hold, or if you're looking at it like, oh, this is Ethereum Classic, it's just like Ethereum. No, it's not. Please research, because you lose your money.
There is a slight difference. And then for those of you that have been around, I'll wrap up with this. And from 2008, let's say, to 2013, it was a penny stock market if you had liquidity and didn't want to invest long term. Then it went to Forex. Then it went back to penny. Last year, every commodity was available. Options was heavy. And now crypto. 2016, of course, had crypto as well. There's also cycling events in which liquidity from traders goes from one asset class to another. If you've typed Forex before, don't crypto now move like the pairs in 2015? It's the same liquidity. And then people blow up accounts. That's why I say mitigation of risk. It doesn't matter if the coin can go up 9,000%. If you over leverage or you put in at the wrong time and you draw down to 80%, you're jumping out and you're never jumping back in. They are using us for liquidity. Traders have the hardest time being disciplined and sticking to a plan. If you can do that, you can make a killing. But the hardest part of it is sticking to a plan and not deviating from it.
Yeah, appreciate you,
Alistair, appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate that. And great job once again with the crypto situation that you guys are doing. The club, the group is amazing.